she goes on an all-girls trip to a luxury resort near Cabo with her friends, and her friends post or leak video of her getting a horrible beating, and they're the ones doing it. And they all come back to the U.S. 5 years old, Lawrence, 25, she's baby, and there's been no justice for this girl, and I want justice.
Now, Charlotte, that is a huge story here because it hits so close to home. What really is interesting is that the fact that first it was, the cause of death, was first alcohol poisoning. Then it was switched because of the right, and it was switched to severe spinal cord injury. And then the video leaving one held accountable because it does show, obviously a fight between two people.
There's a little of when a U.S. citizen is killed by a U.S. citizen in another country. It's very, very rare because the states seemingly don't have subject matter jurisdiction. Europe or get
second.
You speak with passion, and that's something that I've always admired about you, and I'm sure everyone that tunes in to your programs. When it comes to Shanquella and her family seeking that closure, obviously there's still a ton of question marks. The law system, obviously, I want to say almost kind of flawed in the sense where there's two different entities, the United States versus Mexico. What advice or what, when you did have those interviews, what did you tell them that they can hold to heart?
Well, for one thing, you can never give up. You can never give up. And her case is no important than any other case, and those cases are no important than her case. But this is what I've learned: do not go silently into the light.
That's right.
If you gotta go down, you go down fighting. You go down screaming, kicking, clawing. The family cannot stop making noise.
That's right.
Going to the White House, protesting, or Shanquella will be forgotten by many. You cannot let that happen, especially in your neck of the woods. This is in your backyard.
Well, Crime Feed airs every Wednesday night on Discovery.
Well, yeah, I heard that. You can't stop talking about it. You can't stop talking about it. You got to keep talking about it. And Nancy is telling the truth. It's nothing. I don't hear nothing about Shanquella. Nothing. And she just made that. I don't understand that case. I really don't understand that case, y'all. I really don't. It's nothing. I just don't understand it.
Meaning, because it means a lot to me. This beautiful young girl with her life ahead of her goes on a girls' weekend with some friends, and she never makes it back home alive. A very disturbing video is released of Shanquella and her. Listen, these, I'm calling them girls, they're all, I think, in their early 20s. Shanquella was 25 at the time of her death. So all the girls, young ladies, go to a Mexican resort, and it's a 5-star. It's a beautiful resort. But then, stunning video emerges of her so-called friends. Shanquella's mother and I both believe, because she sleeps without her clothes on, that she was woken up by the friend girls and some guy that was a friend as well, not a lover, a friend. Somebody was videoing all this. They get her out of bed, she's butt naked, and they start a fight with her. I can hardly stand to look at the fight because in the fight where they're beating her, one woman in particular, her head goes sideways. Shanquella dies because of that injury. I've got her death certificate right here. And joining me right now is Irv Brandt, Senior Inspector. This is why I have Irv on with me today. He's an expert, U.S. Marshal Service, International Investigations, Chief Inspector, DOJ, Office of International Affairs. He's been a country attaché for the U.S. Embassy and author of Solo Shot, Curse of the Blue Stone. It's on Amazon now. Also author of Flying Solo, Top of the World. So, Irv, let me bring everybody up to date quickly. The reason that she died was because of basically her neck getting broken. What do you call Jackie? Along the lumbar spine, twisted, and her head basically is no longer attached to the rest of her spine. It's kind of like an internal decapitation, where your head is no longer attached to your spine because of one of the blows. And Irv, you and I have looked at the video. It just makes me sick to look at it. So the girls, the friends that do this to her, and the grown man, they all rush back to the States. Irv Brandt, why have they not been arrested and extradited back to Mexico?
Okay, Nancy, I'm going to lay it out for you. This is speculation on my part, but it's speculation based on many years of experience with international extraditions. First of all, to extradite a crime within the treaty from one country to another, there has to be a common crime covered under the treaty.
You don't think murder would rise to that, Irv Brandt? I mean, listen, I like you a lot, but I don't like anything you're saying.
Yeah, I understand that. It's complicated, Nancy. Give me a minute and I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, dumb me down for me, because I'm just not that smart, Irv Brandt.
Yeah, right. I'm talking to a lawyer. You're going to cut me to pieces.
I've seen a lot of ding-dong lawyers. They're not all smart, trust me.
What they charged was, help me out with the exact verbiage of the crime.
An arrest warrant has been issued and extradition proceedings have begun in Mexico for the murder of 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson.
It was...
Yeah, a homicide.
No. But the exact title, the exact charge out of Mexico was like...
It's got to be voluntary manslaughter. Oh, femicide.
When femicide.
Yes.
This is my point. This is what I'm getting to. Under the treaty, there's a list of crimes. You can't generalize. It has to be specific. You can't generalize this to, oh, well, femicide is murder. No. It's what the crime is charged. If that crime is not charged under the treaty, what Mexico has to do is reindict that charge and charge them with something that can be extradited under the treaty, like, let's say, murder.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying I'm giving you a possibility. I'm saying it might be possible. Because over my years of experience, we go through this little song and dance all the time, especially when it came to capital crimes, murder crimes, sex crimes, drug crimes, money laundering crimes. Lots of countries don't have similar, just the titles of them, and it has to be worked out, and sometimes that takes time.
Hey, listen, you might be onto something, Irv, and I want to remind you, Jack, remind me to circle back with him on this. I posed to you the other day, we were off air, what the HELL is going on with Shanquella's case. Why hasn't anything been done? The women all changed their cell phone numbers. They cut off their cell phones. They moved from their apartments. Nobody can find them. Head or tail of them. As far as I know, that's never stopped a bounty hunter from finding the person. But the killing of Shanquella is being investigated as a, quote, femicide. That is an unfamiliar term for many of us in the U.S. It is a gender-motivated crime, and it has not been defined by the U.S. legislators as a global issue. That's feeding into what you're saying. Now, prosecutors in Mexico are trying to extradite one of Robinson's friends. I think they should get all of them, by the way. Have you seen this video, Irv? They're all like a pack of jackals yelping and baying.
If it would have been done in the U.S., you know, and I know, all of them.
Oh, heck yeah. All of them, including the one, the videographer, so to speak. Oh, HELL, yes. Now, they're trying to extradite one friend as a suspect, and the Attorney General for Baja California Sur told media that an arrest warrant was issued for the crime of femicide, the killing of a woman because of her gender. But you told me off air, Brett, I was telling you this whole scenario, how angry I was, nothing had been done. I talked to Shanquella's mother and her sister. They're grieving and they're mourning and they're angry all at the same time. I told you about it, and you said, I've done a million of these. I guarantee you, it's Mexico. It ain't us. Explain why you said that, because I hadn't thought of it that way. I have been 3 inches up these people's tailpipes where these women, we think, are hiding. 3 inches. Calling, emailing. Why aren't you making an arrest? Why aren't you doing extradition? And when you said that, it all crystallized. It's not us. I'm betting it's not us. I agree with you. It's Mexico. Did we ever get a darn thing out of Mexico? Nothing.
But you got to understand, Nancy, this law is not new. What's going over there in Mexico and how they run their business is, politically speaking, is their business. And over here in a different country, don't forget that it's a different country. So when you come over here in the United States, it becomes a new country. So you can get away with stuff like that. And I don't know what this was. This homicide. Well, I can't call it homicide. Femicide. If it was intentionally or what, but it happens. And like you said, it should be something done about it. And then, like you said earlier, what we need to do and what the parents need to do is keep it going, like Kanika Jenkins' mom. Let it ride. Let everybody talk about it. Y'all keep talking about it. The family needs to talk about it. Open up a channel, start talking about it. Just talk about it. Keep the awareness alive on it. And then things will start happening and take a different action. You know what I mean? It's very quiet. Her case is very quiet right now.
Nancy, this goes on all over the world.
Thank you.
And let me tell you, I spent years at International Office of International Affairs and Interpol.
Sounds terrible.
And I would travel halfway around the world. I would fly to Manila, or I'd fly to Bangkok, or wherever, for a single meeting, because OIA would send me, and they would tell me, Irv, we think you're the only one that can do it. We need you to go to Manila. We need you to talk with Minister of Justice and ask them to get the paperwork in order for the extradition. We're waiting on this, just like we're waiting on this case. I'd fly to the other side of the world and go and talk to the minister who called me by my first name, had for years, and we would sit down and discuss the case. And just like this case, it would be two Americans who are no longer in the country, and they have issued a warrant, so they consider the case closed. They're not interested in extraditing.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm trying to take in what you're saying. So basically, once Mexico issues the arrest warrant, you're like, hey, it's on the U.S.
Closed.
Now listen to this, or I think that you're going to end up turning out to be right. Unlike Mexico and other Latin American countries, the U.S. does not have a law recognizing femicide.
That's right.
As any different from homicide, and that doesn't mean that the
Nancy Grace, it goes back to you saying that it's the same thing. It's not. That's not what they call it. We call it homicides. They don't call it homicides. They call it femicides because it was two females. We from another country. We can see the picture different, but y'all, instead of sitting here and doing that, we got to think of a way to make that change. Something got to happen. It's to be able to where somebody know the law in Mexico, in another country, but I ain't never seen anything happen about it. When somebody over here, you can do all the killing you want to, and you get away with it, and you go to another country, they get away with it. And that's what a lot of people, when they get over there, they change their disguise. So we're looking at the criminals that perform this act, but you got to also remember who was behind it. Even if they lied to the people who was investigating, the mama can get a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit. Go out of the lawsuit. I know it's not going to get your daughter back. Tear them up. And I bet they'll change their mind about a lot of things. She need to get start lawsuit. Just start one. Just start the hotel. Sue the hotel. Sue the police. Sue the hospital. Man, she need to get on her job.
Mexico needs to charge it not as femicide, but as murder, straight out murder, so we can get. I guarantee you, it's Mexico. I do not believe that authorities.
See, first of all, I don't understand why did Mexico call it femicide when it's a homicide. See, I have to look that up. I don't know too much about their law. It should have been homicide. So what do they call their homicide in Mexico? What do they call it? What do they call a murder? What does it take to get a win? Let me look up something. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna look up something, y'all, right quick. What does it take in Mexico to get a murder case?
According to MenesasLegal.com, according to Article 315 of Mexico's Federal Penal Code, a homicide is deemed qualified if it was premeditated and the perpetrator had an advantage over the victim before they died.
Did y'all hear that? I asked the question, what does it take for Mexico to get a murder case? What does it take? And they say, according to Article 315 of Mexico Federal Penal Code, a homicide is deemed qualified if it was premeditated, intentionally. So, do they don't think, do Mexico think that bumped it homicide, femicides? This is a homicide. So, was it premeditated? Was it intentional? That's what's going to make it become a homicide in Mexico. And the perpetrator had an advantage over the victim before they died. So we got to prove that whoever did this to her had the advantage over her before she died. Mexico laws deem an individual to be an advantage if they manipulate or betray the victim before ending their life. Now, I see a homicide. I don't know what made Mexico law said it was femicide, but it's not femicide. This right here was a homicide. If they had went on out there and called, and the reason why they didn't say homicide, because they checked the autopsy, made it become femicide instead of a homicide.
Let this go unavenged. I just don't believe it.
No, Nancy, I'm telling you, I used to do this for a living. The Mexican, it's Americans involved. If it was an American killing a Mexican, there would be a lot of pressure on. They'd be doing whatever.
Y'all hear that? Listen to what that lawyer said. If it would have been a Mexican person killed and an American person got away with it, trust me, it would be called a homicide instead of a femicide. But now it was two Americans. Oh, bump it. Is we gonna call it femicide?
However, to bring that person back down, have trouble. These are Americans, and they're gone. And they have issued a warrant. They haven't issued a red notice. They have issued.
What's a red notice? Tell me what is a red notice.
It's an international lookout. Let's say these people travel to another country, left the United States, and travel to another country, and those people could be hanged until Mexico. Let's say they went to Jamaica because they know they're wanted for murder in Mexico, and they went to Jamaica and they had red notices. The Jamaicans would detain them until the Mexican government could bring them over. But since they're Americans, they just, there's no pressure. There's no public outrage.
You mean no public outrage in Mexico?
Correct.
So they don't care. The only one that cares basically is Shanquella. Yes, you are.
Listen here, Nancy. You can't say they don't care. He's talking to you, and then you understand the law. But you are psychologically trying to make the people, you're stating it around so the people are asking that kind of question. I don't see that they don't care. That's not their concern of, because it's no Mexican involved in this. They are no concern of what happened to United States people. You come up, let it vice versa and do like this. United States react different than Mexico. It's not. been like that. So, don't say they don't care. It just they not gonna pressure it because if they was there in Mexico, those people will be pressuring and margining and doing all that, margin and doing all that. What y'all call it? All that peace stuff. But no, they don't hear nothing about that noise over there about Shanquella Robinson because she's not from over there. They don't forget out. They ain't forgot about her, but she's nothing over there. But if they live there, they can do more. But it's different.
It's just not a high priority. And what I
That's
would
the
do,
same thing.
yes,
You've got
what I
a
would do on
beautiful
behalf
dead
of
girl
OIA,
whose mother is crying, whose sister is crying. They're in Huntersville, North Carolina, and I find it very hard to believe that North Carolina authorities are not trying to find these people. But the issue you believe is the extradition papers from Mexico.
yes, I'm willing to bet on it. Because I would go down, I would go and have meetings and explain to them the importance, how important it was to the United States. And basically make a deal. If you submit the paperwork, we'll pay all the costs. We'll pay all the costs of the extraditions to come down. Anytime when they'd agree, they'd look at me and say, "You owe me now." Okay, I owe you. Understood. I mean, that's how it would work, and I did that all over the world.
So, Irv Brandt joining me, this is your expertise. What can we do to get justice for Shanquella? I don't know what we can do.
I am confident. Well, it's the pressure, Nancy. It's just pressure of you keeping it on the front burner. I'm confident that the Office of International Affairs is contacting them continuously, trying to get, the package, for them to get the package done. So these people,
What package? What are you saying?
It's what the Mexican government has to submit to the Office of International Affairs. All their documents, all the probable cause, the video, things like this. All the legal documents for OIA to assign it to an AUSA to, work it up.
An
for
assistant
extradition
U.S.
or-
attorney. I mean, even the governor in North Carolina has weighed in. It's Governor Roy Cooper said his thoughts are with the family of a Charlotte woman who died in October on vacation. And where she was on vacation is a hot jump and a skip down from all the stars and the celebrities go to at Cabo. I always see Jennifer Aniston out there eating chips by the water in Cabo. It's beautiful. That's where they were. He says he's, quote, hopeful the FBI will solve the case of her mysterious death. It's not a mystery, Governor. Just look at the video. We've shown it several times. It makes me sick to look at it. Not knowing what really happened, well, that's a great concern. We know what happened. We all know what happened. Investigators in Mexico say an arrest warrant has been issued, but no suspect named.
Because it's a femicide, Nancy, and not a homicide. If it was a homicide and she was from Mexico, then like he just told you a few minutes ago, it's going to put pressure. If they would be over there in Mexico, putting pressure on their government over there. But ain't nobody over there representing Shanquella. They don't care. She over here. She can't. They over here now. It's over. But if it had been like he told you earlier, it would probably have been a homicide. They would have called a homicide. I guarantee you, if it was Mexican and a United States got away with it, they would have had the person. But now y'all ain't putting no pressure over there on the government over there. It's a femicide and not a homicide.
One has been apprehended, and this was very recently. So what is the holdup? So Irv, can you give it to me in a bullet? Hit me. What can we do? What can be done? I mean, the governor, God bless, was saying, gee, I hope it all turns out okay. We need a little bit more than well wishes, Irv Brandt.
Short version,
Yes.
the United States cannot arrest
Thank you.
on a foreign government arrest warrant.
Thank
The
you.
United States can only arrest on an extradition warrant issued out of the U.S. District Court. And the only way for that to happen is the Mexican government has to submit an extradition request to the office, Department of Justice, Office of International Affairs. Until they do that,
You just said the U.S. government has to do it. I thought the Mexican government would do it.
no. The Mexican government must submit an extradition request to the Department of Justice, Office of International Affairs, so an extradition warrant can be issued out of U.S. District Court.
Okay.
Until the Mexican government does that, the U.S. cannot do anything about
And it's got to be on a charge that we will extradite on.
the treaty.
We're not obviously not recognizing femicide. It doesn't come in the treaty, so it's got to be homicide.
Thank you.
The U.S. State Department number.
I just told you that.
We heard is 888-407-4747.
That's what I just gave y'all that definition when I looked up there about the law in Mexico. It has to be intentional and premeditated to be a homicide over there. So the government over there called it femicide, but really it's homicide. But it referred to the human being causing the death of another, either intentional, like what I just said, or unintentional. But that's all that matters. It's nothing we can do. United States can do. It's nothing because they called it femicide instead of a homicide. This thing here was premeditated. It was intentional, and the predator had the advantage over the victim before she died. But they didn't call it that. They called it femicide instead of homicide. But I guarantee you that if it was Mexican and American, they would put the people over there would have been fighting for that Mexican person. But look, it's two American. They would have brought that person from the United States over here because he's going to set that law and change it to homicide. Article 315 of Mexico. It's going to change it. The law would change if they had to say it now. But see, you got a Mexican and you got America. Oh, they get them. But they better hurry up and get them. Because once they cross over, they gone. Y'all got to catch them. Okay, how many warrants you put out of there? It's so many people over here in the United States supposed to be caught, but they not. But it was two Americans. We're going to call it homicide. Not homicide, we're going to call it femicide. Because two girls got to fight because we saw the video. So Mexico going to call it femicide. And it ain't nothing they going to do. It ain't this. Oh, it's gone. And that person over here in the United States, I don't care what y'all say. They don't have to go back over there. And I'm going to tell you, Mexico government, it's not, that lady ain't going to change. That's why them folks ran over here crossing that water with all their kinfolks to get out of Mexico. Because y'all know how many, y'all, it's so sad.
888-407-4747. We want justice for Shanquella.
We do. But she's finished with that, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna say this. I'm research on it. I was doing it when she was talking. I pulled it up. It said, do murder go unsolved in Mexico? Y'all already know the answer to that. Y'all already know the answer to that. Yes.
Head or tail of them.
Yes. Let me put Sweater up there. Yeah. Hold on, yeah.
On the case of justice for Shanquella.
Okay.
Leaks. So the fact that
See, when they saw this video, when Mexico saw this video, it looked like a fight. That's all that happened was a fight. It wasn't premeditated, intentional to them. It was just two American girls got to fight, and that's it. That girl neck off of her vertebrae. It's like it's decapitated. Did I say that right? Not decapitated. Decapitated. Okay. But she had to, for her neck to come off like that, off her vertebrae right there, she must got some kind of mark or stitches back there. So, because that means that she was intentionally trying to kill Shanquella. And that means that it would have been a homicide. But they didn't even, when that police came and saw Shanquella laying on that floor, they already knew that it was a homicide. But they looked out for the people who was living there. Not living there, who was in charge of that hotel. The police and everything made it, after they did the autopsy, they made it femicide, but the girl head is not attached to her body. I don't understand how they came up with homicide. I mean, say femicide. This here, the governor, it's something. I wouldn't give up. I would have mama, I wouldn't give up. Just let that man go on by her business. And see, y'all, they over here. You got a deleted American, and then you got American who did this to her. They got away with murder. Because it was two United States citizens. Who cares about us? They just do care about their people over there. So they really could have called this a homicide. I don't understand how Mexico just made it a femicide instead of a homicide. They jumped on it so quick. When they let them people got away from there, regardless to their autopsy, when they let them people get away from there, y'all, they knew they weren't coming back over there. They didn't want that problem with American. They jurisdiction system just F. Well, I just wanted to bring that back up with this. This is the beginning of the video is majority of new stuff. Really not saying too much about the case, nothing, but they was trying to say that if I wish this case is so sad because she don't have no kin people over there in Mexico that can make noise. See, Kanika Jenkins case, her mama had us, the people, but she had us, the people from this state. But then you got Shanquella stuff. She gone, and they ain't keeping it alive. They got to keep it going. Miss Teresa didn't care what they say about her. They just let Kanika Jenkins case. We still talk about Kanika Jenkins for all these years. I'm gonna say about 6, going on 7 years. But they talking about it. They've been talking this long. So Shanquella's name, well, it's not staying. It's on social media for some reason. We're not keeping her name out there. But see, we're not making noise for Mexico. Mexico can't hear this, what we're talking about. Mexico is not studying us, what they talk about. Because right here, I looked at the statistics. how many people have died over there. And between 2013, you got 215,000 people in Mexico were murdered. By 2013, there were only 30,800 people incarcerated for murder, showing that many murders go unsolved. That's what happened to Kanika, not Kanika, but Shanquella case. In October 2017, Mexico suffered its deadliest month since it started keeping such data in 1997 with 2,371 murders investigation. And the last I'm gonna put this, I want to tell y'all this what I searched. Can you be charged for a crime in Mexico? That ain't the question I want. I want to know. I know you. Okay, it said if you are arrested for a serious crime in Mexico, the police will turn you over to the agent or district attorney office, which could be state or federal, depending on the charge. Now, I want to ask them this. This is what I want to ask them. Since we know now that a homicide, in order for Shanquella case to be a homicide, it says that a homicide is deemed qualified if it was premeditated, intentional, and the predator had an advantage over the victim before she died. And that's what happened. But some kind of way, them people made them folks, I don't know how they changed their mind. Mexico laws deem an individual to be at an advantage if they manipulate or betray and victim before. This is what I want to ask them. I want to ask them. Can you change a case from femicide to homicide in Mexico? They went straight to Shanquella. Okay. The only thing they did was told me that. Now I didn't want to know. They said, "What's the difference between?" Now I don't want to know the difference between femicide and homicide. But I'm gonna tell them what they say about femicide. A difference in definition. They are killed because they are women. Wow. They are killed because they are women, and one or more men perpetrate the act. Now, I wouldn't have nothing to do with no man, I don't think. If a woman suffered a tragic accident, it is not a femicide because her death is not related to her condition as a woman or murdered in a robbery. Either in the case, it is homicide. This crazy. I can't live over there. This is what I want to know. In Mexico, can a case change from femicide to a homicide? They ain't telling me nothing. They went back to where I was at first. Now I'm telling them I'm gonna have to reword that differently. And then right here they talking about in the word homicide can be intentional or unintentional. Can Mexico change Shanquella Robinson case to homicide? This is what it says, y'all. See, that's December. Look, y'all, December 2nd, 2022. Under federal law in Mexico, people can face up to 60 years in prison if convicted. The differences between homicide or unlawful killing. I don't understand this. I don't understand them. A femicide is the killing of a woman because of her gender. That ain't what I want to. I want to know. They were saying that Shanquella Robinson update, y'all. I found an update. This was in 2023. Federal investigators. Hold on for a minute. It says not enough evidence to prosecute Shanquella Robinson case. Federal investigator says. Y'all hear that? Federal investigators determined Wednesday they don't have enough evidence to prosecute anyone in the death of Shanquella Robinson. Now, this when it seemed like somebody should wake up and tell. But you know what the mama need to do? She need to take legal action against them. That the question is, can she do that since they don't have enough evidence? I wonder, can she still sue them? I'm gonna let y'all hear this, and then I'm gonna let y'all. They said Robinson, 25, from Charlotte, was found unresponsive as a villa, and okay, we know that. Less than 24 hours earlier, she and a group of friends had just landed for what was supposed to be a luxury vacation. Federal authorities met with Shanquella Robinson family Wednesday to share their findings and tell them there will be no prosecution at this time. Y'all hear that? It was not the news Robinson family wanted to hear, as last month they sent a letter to President Joe Biden. Y'all remember that, to get the federal government involved. To get the federal they ain't got enough evidence. And ain't nothing the president could do over that. Mm-mm. Mm. The U.S. authorities have to understand and have to know that even if we were them, it's not about Shanquella. That United States citizens cannot go to Mexico, commit a crime that we all saw on the video, and then come back to America and say we're on base, we're safe. It's been like that. This is nothing new. Nothing new. This is nothing new, y'all. Now, however, Sue Ann Robinson revealed Wednesday that she was informed that a United States autopsy did not reveal a spinal cord injury. What? So it did find swelling of the brain, she added. So how did Mexico get that out of an autopsy that her head was off off her neck? I don't understand that. Our autopsy It's saying something different. Yeah, well, I tell you what, them say that. Mm. Mexican investigator did file an arrest warrant in the case, but that one has not yet yielded as actual arrest. Because she ain't got to come back over there. It's unclear at the time how U.S. prosecutors' decision to not press charge they can't will affect the arrest warrant for Mexican people. United States cannot tell another country government what to do because they can't come over here and tell us what to do. But if Shanquella was from Mexico, it'd be a more noise over there about Shanquella. They will fight. They can fight for Shanquella, but she's not from there. She's from over here, so they don't care. They really don't. Though that was what's the name? I'm trying to tell y'all. Then they got is it is important to reassure the public that experienced federal agents and seasoned prosecutors is extensively review the available evidence. They ain't got enough evidence, y'all. But I continue making noise. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'll be popping up every now and then, y'all. I'm off for work. Ain't got to work in the morning. Ooh, this is so sad. This right here. This is crazy. And then to me, it's premeditated because that's why they probably wanted to go over there to start some mess. She don't even too much know them girls. They just know of each other. They fighting like that, like cats and dogs. Let me pull this fight up. I just can't believe this. I really can't. Let me see. Look like they done took it down. It looked like they took theirs down. Let's see something. I seen something. Let me see something right quick. Robinson. Okay, let me see. They got right here, justifying audio exposes Shanquella in message pain. I don't know why TMZ, I couldn't pull it up on there. But I see it right here. Oh, he ain't showing that. God, that girl at her man, they better make sure that's a man. Y'all say that's a woman. Y'all said that's a woman. She from North Carolina. Y'all said she fight like she got must on box before because she got some deadly hands to kill somebody like that. She killing her. We better not lose no fight. I mean, I don't understand why that boy ain't tell her mama nothing. That boy who don't been around her mama, just like them children in Kanika Jinka K, they ain't told the mama nothing. This crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Let me do this. Let me put this movie on. This thing on for y'all. Okay, y'all. It about to come on. It about to come on. Okay. Okay, I'm about to play it soon. It gets soon. Okay, let me play it. But I don't see it right here on my phone. It ain't showed up for them. Here it go. Come on, I don't know. I wonder can she get a lawsuit? Let's look at it right here, y'all. Oh, wait. She fighting that good like a Houdini. A Houdini woman. Where's she from? She, ooh, wait. She whooping that butt like, you asked for it. All that mouth. Ooh. I'd be suing some folks. I wonder, can she sue people over here in the United States? Shanquella should have been in her bed. I ain't sure. That video is messing up. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I think they're gonna lose this one. But I'll keep. The mama. Or the daughter can do it. Keep that. Keep her. You ain't heard nothing from Shanquella. You ain't heard nothing else about Shanquella's name. When it first happened, everybody was doing a live on it. You don't hear her about her case. Now, see, she was killed like Kanika, but it was in the United States. Y'all see how other countries are? That's why them folks from other countries running up this way, crossing that out there in the water with they family trying to get trying to get over here and live. Due to the fact of what's going on, damn it, that's sad, man. I don't hear nothing about Shanquella case. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that I don't know. I wouldn't give up. I won't give up. Let me see, do they have any update? I won't give up. I just keep pressuring them folks. See, that's just like a job. You keep pressuring them, they may change their mind to do so. You may get blessed. Meet some Mexican folk who got some money. I don't give up on that. They gonna think I'm crazy. I know. See, they no update. This is 1 month ago. Let's see. I think I did already. This was 1 month ago, y'all. So this is something new.
Today marks exactly 1 year since the death of Charlotte woman Shanquella Robinson. Her family is still fighting for justice. Her story gained national attention after Robinson mysteriously died while vacationing with people she knew in Cabo. But family and friends have been calling for justice by leading rallies across the country. Back in April of this year, federal authorities announced they would not seek charges in Robinson's death. U.S. officials say their investigation didn't find evidence to support federal prosecution. Still, the attorney for the family says they were told by the FBI and Interpol that the case isn't closed.
So it's a situation where there's still more questions than answers. In terms of the Mexican authorities, they've continuously advised that this is a high priority to them and that they're using their diplomatic channels to push for extradition.
We'll have more coverage tomorrow on the legal battle the family is facing and how they're working to make sure that her name is removed.
You better get to suing somebody. Sue each one of those. That's gonna be kind of hard to get a lawsuit. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know. I don't know who she gonna sue. I wonder could she sue? Could the mother sue the girl for fighting her daughter? I wonder. I wonder could the mama sue the I wonder can the mother sue the girl who was fighting her daughter, y'all? Since she had make her pay her doctor bills and she can get some money. I start suing folks. I do anything I can do to make them get next to them. They ain't gonna get away from doing that to my child. I wonder if she did all of that. She should have. Mm-mm. All right, y'all. When you get a chance out there, if you know something different that the family can do about this, and what would y'all do to keep her name out there? What would you do? Put it in the suggestion. Put it in the chat. Your reaction is very important to me. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. And out of here.